talk. I had like Tourette's. I had my mind brought me to loops. Different things that I thought I was gonna be stuck like this. Like you feel me?
Yeah.
Like I was like holy shoot. But I wasn't afraid though. I just went through it. I laughed when I had Tourette's. Like I was like I couldn't. The words was.
hey, 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 I be hating that. I be hating that because I'll go through that and then you'll be trying to talk to somebody and it's like I don't know you'll just be that's what you'll be kind of sort of doing like it's like bro I don't even
Yep.
want to talk while I'm tripping. Let me just trip
Mhm,
right now and get it out the way and then I'll talk to you afterwards because right now
mhm.
I don't know what the hell is going on. Cat got my tongue. I
After
can't
that,
even speak.
tell me after that you don't see people walking around that talk to themselves different and people who do stuff like different like that he's going through something they automatically on a trip because if our brain is capable it's like um you know what I mean like a keys like like bro I don't know the shrooms is like having the keys to UFO and we never knew that it was capable of doing all that stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Like we walking around in our bodies doing stuff that we don't even know our eyeballs are capable of way more than what we use them for. As
Yeah.
soon as you're on shroom, you could do stuff with your eyeballs, like telescopic stuff. You could do things you could see in the dark. You could see through skin. Like you could see veins and like weird stuff on people's pulse through their skin. Like when somebody walk up on you, you see their skin translucent. Like yo, dog, weird stuff. And it might be like, oh, you're just tripping, but no.
No. Yeah.
Some of it weird
Hold
moments. Like,
on. I
somebody walk
remember.
up, there's something looking clogged up. Like there's something wrong with this person. For come to find out, that person got some type of heart condition. Something's wrong with them. Like you can see that shit.
Yeah,
Like
you can
the
clearly
shaman,
see
the
it.
shaman use it for that. You know what I mean?
Hey, that should be trippy as hell, man. I remember I could see. I was able to see like it was like my shit looked like I was looking at an X-ray. Like I had X-ray
Yeah.
vision looking at my hand. I could see my bones. I could see my
Yeah.
veins and everything. And I'm like, well, what the hell is going on? One time I looked, bro, and I'm telling you, my veins look like how when the ocean comes into the land and it creates different lakes and different streams. Like my shit was
Yep.
looking like that, bro, but it was like sunk in. It was sunk in like all my veins. It looked just like that, and bro, like as you can see, my veins is always puffy as hell, but they was all sunk in, and I'm like, going, what the hell is going on, bro? I'm like, man, I'm tripping. I'm like, I don't know what the hell this is, but you kind of see the correlation that it has with just the planet itself, which is like weird, bro, because it's almost like everything is like a mirror of itself. It's just a reflection of itself over and over and over and over and over again. And like you were
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
about the
dude, that
mirrors,
shit from blowing my mind.
yeah, it was like what
Yeah,
Ozo was saying about the mirrors. When you seen all the different mirrors and you seen all the different versions of yourself, and you looking and you
Mhm.
going, wait, what the fuck?
yeah,
Like, wait, this one doing this, that one doing that, and all of them doing something different,
Yeah.
but they all
yeah. My
Now,
one.
buddy saw that, and he said he saw the mirrors break into pieces, and he
oh,
said it was like his
mm,
different egos breaking.
Yeah,
But I wanted to say to you, I sent you a message on it. I just saw this the other day, and I was like, man, I got to talk to you about this. This is nuts. So this girl came on, and she said she was reading through the Epstein files. And do you guys remember when, like, he got caught or when he died? Do you remember the whole entire 23andMe, the DNA company? They all quit. Do you guys remember, like, all the board, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
executive board? They all
yeah,
quit. You guys remember that?
yeah. I
Okay,
remember.
so she was talking about why they quit because he was doing whatever with the girls, but dude, that was just like part of it. What he was doing was he was using psychedelics to to time travel by going through our DNA. And I'm like, dude, that's the fucking Assassin's Creed video game. That's what they're doing in that game. They're
movie
Yeah,
using the
too.
DNA to go back in time, right? I'm like, that's it. I'm like, she's talking about Assassin's Creed, but they're doing that shit for real, man.
But
And ain't
but
that the shit, when
I just,
something
I
real
just
like that, you're like, well, we'll put it in a video game so no one will ever believe it.
movie too. It's a movie too. Yeah,
yeah,
they
but
made the movie. Those are blueprints. That's what that is.
yeah, but
Yeah, oh
remember we
yeah.
used to, man. That's the one
Yeah,
thing that
yeah. And I'm like,
that's the one thing I used to say back in the days. Crow is like I couldn't understand. I said, man, it's like when I have these DMT experiences, it literally seems like I'm traveling through my DNA. That's what it seems like. It don't seem like I'm like it seems like I'm traveling through my DNA. I'm going through my veins. I can see my white blood cells, red blood cells floating by. I can see all this shit and I'm going like what the hell, bro? Like what's up with it?
Awesome.
How you
oh
say your
wow.
name? Mercurius? Mercurius?
Hi there. It's Jonathan. Jonathan Hankel from the stream. Nice to meet you.
Hey, how you
Actually,
doing, Jonathan?
been a long time watcher. I really appreciate your content.
Oh, thank you for joining. Thank you for
Absolutely.
joining. But wait, let me post it over here too. But yeah, Crow. So
No, I
what
just
was?
thought I had to tell you, man. No, that's what she was saying, like that they were time traveling. I'm like, well, no one's gonna believe this, like the average person. I'm like, what do you mean they were
Yeah,
time
it's all
traveling, like
content.
Back to the Future? It's like, no, man, you
Watch
just
the
take the
movie.
magic mushrooms and you time travel.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
have
You.
somebody watch it
Which movie?
them better. Like somebody want to explain that to. Have them watch the Assassin's Creed movie because they have all the stuff right there. They put it into the movie. All the blueprints are there.
Yeah, to where he
Yeah,
was.
but
That shit was
but
crazy, bro.
they explain it away with technology, right? They're like, oh, we got. I haven't seen it. I'll check it out. But they basically in the video game they say it's like a technology, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, they're like
Yeah.
they put the thing on his head or whatever.
Oh yeah, it
You
was
know what
on
they
his back
usually,
and shit. Like plug
you
him
know what they
in.
usually
It's probably
they
yeah, it's
usually use
probably it's probably stimulating the part of the brain that the psychedelics do, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yo, listen, in the movies, if you watch carefully, what they usually use in replacement for psychedelics is anything the color of blue. Blue or purple, or that's it, blue, purple, or
Oh,
clear.
okay, yeah.
Those three things are the three things that they use to represent psychedelics. They used them in the movie Limitless,
Oh,
they used it in Lucy, they used it in different movies, they use that blue color. Or
Yeah,
they
cause
used the
that's
yeah,
what you
that's
see.
psychedelic.
That's what you
Yeah,
see. Like that be the wild thing. That's what you see.
yeah,
You see those colors right there.
yes.
Like they start to change and they start to come out. They
in the
start to
movie,
come out.
Assassin's Creed, into the machine that they connected him to, that they stuck into his DNA, they combined it with some blue juice, I think, and to make the DNA go travel back in time.
Yeah, you
That was the
have
story.
you have you ever had that Ozo to where it seemed like you was going through your DNA?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where I was. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to fucking. I mean, to try to dissect. I just try
Yeah,
to
you just
debunk it
kind
as I
of you're a
go.
little bit low. I don't know why, Marcus. You kind of I don't know why your microphone was low.
Me? Oh, my
Yeah,
microphone. Can you now?
yeah, we hear you, but it's just low for some reason.
Let me see. It's a little bit better.
Not really.
I would have to get a better setup here. Sorry about that, but I just wanted to chime in and say I have had the experience of traveling through the DNA. I don't know if you can hear me,
Yeah, we
but I've
hear
had
you.
that
Go ahead.
it's something I recall very distinctly was this experience of traveling down through my genetic code. Another thing that along the same lines was an experience once I had where I traveled backwards through my evolutionary development. Like I traveled backwards into primate forms and then into lizard and fish-like forms and into single-celled organisms and into like some kind of root life system that was living in the planet before it differentiated. So it was like this kind of journey backwards through the into the primordial ooze.
Yeah.
It feels sort of a parallel of these kinds of experiences of traveling through the DNA as well. I've had that happen specifically.
That okay, so you went back to where you was actually seeing the evolution of things almost.
Yes, and my own evolution and like my evolution from my specific evolution, but also like the universal evolution of the species.
Yeah.
And there were really weird side quests, I would call them, when as I was like plunging backwards through my genetic, through my genetic code into like my earlier evolutionary forms, there was a point there where I saw an image of myself standing at the top of like a Mayan temple, and I was like a lizard priest that was doing a ritual in a Mayan temple.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. That's what I seen off ayahuasca. Hey, we all had on, everybody had on robes with the hoodie on the robe, the brown robe, and they had these, man, they had these damn, like star, like 5-pointed like star, but the star wasn't a point. It was like a, you know, a flat top on their foreheads, and it was shining so bright you couldn't see their face. And I was like going, what the hell is going on? It was like we was all standing around the fire doing a ritual.
Yeah.
And it was,
Jeez. What was so? Another question like that sort of calls to mind this question. Could those moments that we're seeing when we travel backwards through time and see this kind of rituals take place, could those be like moments where those so it's almost like there's a time and eternity, right? There's
Yeah.
space outside of time, and then here we are in sequential time, but outside of time we can kind of interact even past in the future. And I'm wondering like how many shamans from the past we cross paths with when we dive in and plunge in there. Like how often do we cross paths with shamans from thousands of years ago?
Definitely, bro.
yeah, I think that's what we do because like when I had took ayahuasca, that's what basically happened. Like I seen myself as hella different shamans, like going this person, that person. And it was like I was giving people like ayahuasca to like try to wake them up from reality or something. But I was like all these different shamans over time. Like I'm talking about, it was many different ones, bro. Like, and I'm like I've got all different coconut cups, little wooden like types of cups and different things, and just pointed. I'm like going, bro, what the hell? Like, you feel me? That shit is crazy. But it makes sense because you know we talked a long time, like remember we was talking Ozo about how when the body forms within, you know, your mom's womb and it's holding the cells
Oh
from
man.
everything from before, from every
Yeah.
life that lived before you. That's
Right back.
yeah, all right. And then the cells form and form the body, but all those cells is carrying all the DNA and the genes from everybody that lived before us. So it's like I don't see why we wouldn't, if it knows what to do when it's in there, like to create the egg and make the egg. Like even when you was talking about, bro, when you was talking about the you know, going back and, you know, becoming like the form of the amphibian or whatever, and then changing into this other thing, into that, even that right there, you see that happening within the genome of the body. Like you see it.
Yeah.
Like,
When you say that when you look at like the development of the fetus, it
Yeah.
looks like a fish.
yeah, yeah. And then it looked like a lizard or something. That's just going. It looked like some type of lizard, a gecko or something. It even get to the point to where it looks like a gray alien.
It does.
Yeah, no, the
yes.
lizards. No,
What'd you say, Crow?
I just want to ask. Yeah, I just want to ask, are you guys traveling and seeing this? Are you seeing this stuff during closed-eyed visuals, like you're laying down with your eyes closed? I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh, you can go ahead and answer that first.
Well, at least in my case, it's always been sort of sitting on my either on my haunches or on my butt, and usually I'm sitting and my eyes are half closed. The half closed posture with my eyes, or placement of my eyelids, seems to allow me to merge the closed eye visuals with the open eye visuals. It's a very hard to
Yeah.
explain thing. Do you know what I'm talking about, True?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Because it's like you can see this reality, but you see that reality also going on. Like
Exactly.
I used to always play with that.
Together.
Yeah. Because like if you think about it, they are merged together. But I always seen that when I used to do that, I always seen that like you getting the best of both worlds, because you see in this reality change from you being off the mushrooms or whatever, but you're also seeing these other realities on top of that happening at the same time. It's like that should be crazy, bro, but it'd be dope.
Exactly. And the other answer to maybe further answer the question about where I am and thought and like what the experience is like for me, at least it has always felt like I was going like on a downward movement. Whenever I would like go backwards in time, it felt like I was moving actually downward physically. That was my experience. My body felt like it was almost like sinking or something through my DNA. So that
Oh
was
wow.
the bodily somatic sensation that I had. But yeah, just wanted to share that.
Dang, moving downwards. That's trippy in itself. Cause I don't think I don't well I probably have like paid attention to how because it seemed like I was folding inside of myself, like literally folding like inside of me, and then like continuously though, like nonstop, like almost like chewing some gum. How the gum just keep on folding and going back and forth. It was like continuously folding in and outside of myself, over and over and over again. But what's up, O?
What up,
Hey,
man?
what up, bro?
Oh, my bad.
My name on YouTube was King Mac Attack. That's how I got in the Discord.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay, King Mac Attack. I know you had some experiences you wanted to share. You're in the right place.
Yeah, yeah, because I low-key been watching you since 2018 for like the longest,
Yeah.
and I like you kind of inspired me to dive in and stuff. But like I don't know, like it kind of gets like tricky sometimes to like understand it and shit. And I don't know. Yeah.
What parts have you seen that was like kind of tricky?
Well, it's because like it's like mixed messages of shit. Like either like it was like trying to show me like if I was like in a simulation or some shit or like in a dream, and then like before like that type of trip that was like off DMT. Like the acid trips which like make me feel like if I was like I don't know like a sacrifice to or some shit or like I don't know. It was some crazy shit like
Yeah.
getting to the point where I'm at now, and I don't know, it's just some shit. Like
Yeah.
I got to understand, but I can't because I don't know if I could or not.
But
I don't know how to explain it, but
you kind of
yeah,
can though, because like okay, because that's like me being in the experience of feeling like in that sacrificial place right there, to where you are sacrificing yourself for the things that you love and the ones that you love. Like every day you stop being yourself for a lot of different people. So you always kind of sacrificing yourself in so many different ways. And then even like that dream state, like shit, man, bro, it always, to me, it feels like a dream because yesterday seemed like it didn't even really happen because it's not here no more. And then
oh yeah,
some things that happened yesterday you can't even recall because it
yeah,
go by so fast, and that within that 24-hour period you only can remember 4 hours of it usually, or maybe 10, 5, or something like that, but you can't remember
yeah.
every moment, so it
Nah,
seems like it's a dream almost, like
yeah,
you.
that's why I don't know.
Yeah.
I just get confused on shit. Like, there's a bunch of like stuff like that can try to get you to understand what's going on and shit. But it's like like I'm saying, it's like different mixed messages of shit, and you just gotta know it, or I don't even know, but yeah, it's kind of tricky like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it is because, but when you diving in, you're seeing all the different things. You seeing like so much at times, bro, that it do be hard to take in because you seeing all these things, and you going. But then when you come out, you trying to tell me you didn't go watch a movie or a TV show or heard a song that was pertaining to what you seen on your experience.
Well, that kind of like happens all the time now. Like it's not like that shit leaves and shit.
Yeah. so,
Yeah.
so it's like what you seeing is true.
Well, kind of. I mean, you could say it is, but then again, it's like it's not. Or I don't know. kind of something, but I don't know.
because it
That's
get
why.
to showing you in different ways when you get back to reality. It show you in all these different ways what you see, and you just like, nah, bro, I'm playing the
Yeah,
game on myself.
yeah, that's how it is, and that's why I just be like chilling and just like watching like your videos and stuff like about shit like that. But I don't know. It kind of it's something, bro. You literally gotta try to like figure something out, but at the same time, it's like you don't have to. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you don't have to, but I think that's what's cool because when we come in here and we just like that's why I like it to be open to where people can come in and we can like not just talk about my experiences, but I be wanting to hear everybody else's experiences also because
Yeah,
everybody we all look at it in our own way. In our own way, we look at it and we take it. So it's like from your experiences, what did you take from it?
Mm, I don't know. Well, to be honest, one is like I should stop giving a fuck about anything, like any, like, like a bad situation and shit. But if it's like a good situation, try to appreciate more of it. And like, I don't know, it's like kind of made me feel like just to appreciate what I have, like like with life and shit, and not try to do so much to like
Yeah,
get some
Nigel.
other type of shit or some shit. Like I don't know, just try to basically just appreciate for what I have,
Yeah,
and that's what I got from it. Like it was kind of like like scary bad trips, but it wasn't like it's not gonna benefit the way life is for me and shit. And yeah, I
but
don't know. I just got from it like I don't
did it
know.
did it make you less spooked about a lot of things? But hold on, wait. Nigel Washington said this. I know he's talking to you. He said it's crazy to think about, but we've been dying since we've been born. So in a way, we sacrifice ourselves to live. Also, we have to choose to change, to shed and grow out of old ways.
Bro, listen, also culturally, like, when you're in a hunter gatherer society where the man is teaching the boy how to go out there and there's predators out there and stuff happens and how to fight your way out of stuff and how to be relaxed and how to breathe and how to not be panicking and not to bring fear into the village and different things. And then if you see the shaman and you go on a dive, you're a little more prepared mentally to
Yeah.
be more of a what I mean? Like your soul's more in the middle. Like what I mean? Like in the like you're more even space instead of society the way it is now and going through the school and the stupid stuff and there's the programming and all this other stuff and then you go into a dive and it's just chaos sometimes because of the stuff the reality we live in. You feel
It's
me?
Yeah,
straight chaos.
yeah. That's what I be saying. It's like you gotta like I don't know, figure something. I don't know to
But
not get like too phased by that shit or the shit that's around.
yeah, because you trap yourself in your own thoughts, like, that's what we all do. But it's like
Oh
kind of
yeah,
weird because when you think about the program in the life, because life itself has its own program, and then humans have their program within life, which is their own program. We have many different programs ourselves to keep everybody on the track of whatever the humans, the majority of what we're doing. So it's like
mhm,
when you get to that point and you stop like giving a fuck about all that shit, you go like you feel lighter.
yeah,
You feel lighter, like you're not worried about like, oh dang, if I'm stepping out, if I got dirty shoes on or something like that. You not even tripping off all these things. You're not
for
tripping off everything that we carry around. We carry the burdens of everybody else. Like he said, sacrificing ourselves to everybody else and what they think and what they feel.
yeah. I don't know. I just like watching your videos though, cause it makes me like kind like feel better on like on like some bullshit or something. Cause sometimes like I'll just like I don't know, like get an idea that like maybe like I ain't really living or some shit. I don't know, or like real or some shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of been preparing myself to like not get phased by shit like that. No matter if like a bad trip will happen or some shit,
No,
like an
no,
ego death type of trip or something.
You know why you might feel that? Because it makes sense sometimes. Because I've been through mad stuff, right? I've been in a coma. I've been through mad stuff, right? But psychedelic wise, I've taken so many psychedelics, and I know for a fact that our brain inside of our skull has nothing to do with our thoughts.
Oh
So,
damn.
so our thoughts come from somewhere else, and our mind and our spirit can leave our body. Like we could step outside of this body, and like so. You might have a feeling like you this might not be real because you're just in an avatar right now. You know what I mean? Like this body,
Yeah.
this life that we're in an avatar. We just, you know what I mean? We're like right behind the eyeball, moving this
Oh
body
yeah.
around,
Yeah.
and and so it's like in this reality we just learning what we can while we're here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just I don't know. Nobody could call it, and there's no heads or tails to it. Is everybody's on their own mission,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's that but it varies. You know what I mean? Reality varies, and it don't be tricked by not knowing if this was real or not because all of it is. All the
Mm.
different levels of it is real.
And
Yeah.
then
That's
Thoughts.
why. That's why I be
Mhm.
watching it while y'all video while y'all talk, cause it kind of like gives me a better like understanding of how the trips and shit be and shit, why the psychedelics be and shit. And yeah, and I was gonna tell y'all it's like kind of like some celebrity scene thing, like seeing y'all like some celebrities. I wanted to tell y'all that because that's kind of what it's like for me. It's like seeing y'all some celebrities, but especially true because I've been watching this video since like 2018.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. I ain't no celebrity though, but you the
Uh,
celebrity.
Yeah,
You the celebrity because you created me as one. When you think about it, but D Carb said you have to get past the fear stage. Your ego is always trying to project from things you don't like. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about too, Ozo, y'all. Like I was thinking about this, right? Like yeah, like y'all watch near death experiences, right?
yeah,
And you know how when people have a near death experience, like, and they see like they loved ones that passed away and stuff, you know what I was trying to figure out? How come when they go into these near death experiences, why in these heavenly places, why they don't see all the people they didn't get along with? Why they only always see the people that they loved and the people that treated them good?
mm,
So, well, it's an
that's,
interesting question.
Because I had a near death experience where people say I was almost, I don't say it so cool, but it was like I felt nothing but goodness. But when the person did things, feel like I was gonna die. So he went away, and then when I woke up, I saw his face. Out, I was like, oh, "It's you, man!" You know, I was like, "What?" It was crazy. It was like weird, and all I could feel was not the word how I felt. I can't say love, amazement, or good. No word how I felt. It was like a piece of all the words of love and confidence. I could never
Yeah.
explain in my life.
Yeah, but did you see any people in there that you didn't like or you didn't get along with?
All I saw, and I guess he's the one that was yelling, I guess screaming at me until I was out of there. And he was yelling at me, and his face appeared, then it disappeared. But whenever I saw his face, and the person that did it, so he freaked out. He thought it was a reaction how I came about. When I saw him, I was happy to see him. He went away.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, it's you, Matt! Oh, yay! You know what I mean? Save my
Yeah.
life!"
Yeah. I that's one thing that I've been like hella pondering lately because I said, even in a lot of my experiences, I'm going like, why, what, like, how come, like, when I even see like ancestors or ones that I know that even passed on, like, it's even people that I didn't get along with that passed on, but I don't never see them. I only see the one. It's like almost like I feel like in your mind, you create a heaven and hell yourself to where all the people that you loved and you cherished, you put in that good place. That's that always gave you the good feelings, made you feel good about yourself. You put them there, but you put all the people that you didn't get along with or didn't like you or had some kind of something you felt something about. You put them in that ugly place where you put all the other bad things that happen within your life in that place that you don't want to happen again. and that's that fear place. And that's why, like how you said, you had the bad trips. Oh,
Oh yeah.
what made you feel like it was a bad trip?
Well, I can like be like bold about it. So it was like well, I had a friend, and then that fool would like try to like give me like little like hints or some shit. Like if I don't know, like if like if he knew what type of trip would happen before it happened or some shit. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know how
Ah,
to explain it, but like it's like if he
hmm
knew like how the trips would be and shit, and then shit
yeah,
like that would build up to where like what if
hmm
like they're trying to do like some other type of shit with the psychedelics to me, and that's what I'm saying, like a sacrifice and shit. But I
ah,
don't know, like I would confront him and it wouldn't even be like that. He says and shit, but like it'd be like some shit like while like when I first tripped acid, bro, like literally like the crazy shit happened that day. Like it was the weirdest fucking day ever, and like I don't know, like from that point it was like just realizing like the psychedelic shit, it could be real strong and shit, and like it can like affect like the way the mind is. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know.
yeah, because
It was some shit.
it heightens your sense of awareness, whatever you're aware of. So, like, say if your mind is in a bad place, or you look at somebody in a negative way, it will times that shit infinity,
Yeah,
by
I don't
You're
infinity,
know.
explaining- you're
and you
doing
will.
fine explaining.
Yeah,
You're
and
doing
that shit
perfect.
like that shit was just like I don't know, like that day, like the clouds were like forming like angels and shit, and then there was like a group of like a bunch of white people like jumping a black kid, and like it's crazy. That's crazy because we were talking about it before that shit happened. We were like saying, like, what if we get in a brawl with a bunch of people? And that's what the homie was saying. Don't think like that, right? Because like when you're off that shit, like that shit really can like have that happen. Now I
Yeah,
would be like, man, fuck that shit. Though. That should be tight. And then like he would just be like, nah, and then like, oh no, that shit happened, and yeah, like, oh no, like that shit was just some shit, but oh no, like, oh no, like now it's like kind of different because like I did DMT and shit, and like shrooms and that shit like just had it to like where it's like, oh no, it's like, oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't even know like how that shit is.
yeah. Nah, but I understand because we dive into so many different aspects of life, and that's one thing. Like now, like even me watching movies or talking about certain stuff, once I go to sleep, like I dream about all that shit now. Like damn near like I'm in a psychedelic experience within my dream, dreaming about all the things that I thought about or I watched or whatever within the dream. So it's like kind of weird because when you having those thoughts, like on psychedelics, you live them out. So
Yeah.
think about this though, right? So each moment that you're living life, and let's say you go to your homies, like not even with psychedelics, you go, hey man, yeah, what if this happened and we got in a big brawl? Man, a part of you lives that out in your mind, and it exists in your mind,
Hmm
Man.
That's I'm not
literally,
Yeah.
my
literally.
Like
Yeah.
a conductor, it's like a conductor telling anything they tell you is an imprint. So this is the crazy part. After
Went
taking
on me, the
psychedelics,
blood.
since I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of scary
Sorry,
movies. I didn't care. I always watched scary movies. I like.
CDMD.
I didn't really discriminate about what kind of scary movie it was. But after taking psychedelics, I seen stuff that made me reevaluate human movies and stuff. Like I'm not watching any movies with rape in it. I'm not watching any movies with like serial killers. I'm not watching any movies with stuff like that no more because it fills my brain with junk, and it's like I could feel like the stuff just
Yeah.
it goes into your thought process. Like no, I don't need that stuff filled into my head. I put into my brain what I want in there, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
like
agree with you.
I was in that stage too, to where I like in the beginning stages, but then like I think now, Ozo, I ain't gonna lie, I be wanting to see everything because everything is happening. It was just almost just like what I said. You got these two parts within you that you're putting stuff in your negative box and you putting stuff in your positive box.
Yeah,
And the stuff
yeah,
in the
two wolves.
negative box is the stuff that you don't want to see, even though it's happening. So it's like you're just hiding it from yourself.
That's the two wolves. Book, you know the
Yeah,
two wolves. You
yeah.
feed which one you gonna feed.
Yeah,
Which wolf
which
you gonna
one you gonna feed? And it's like kind
Yeah,
of crazy because now I feed them both. I be wanting to see it all. Like now when I dive in, I can watch some scary shit because nothing. It's not scary to me no more. It's just life happening. This is what happens in life.
That's the crazy part about it, right? The shrooms broke all that. Like I'm not afraid of nothing, but
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
I don't. The senselessness of watching this is just garbage. It's like I'm not watching
yeah,
this. Somebody killing, like
uh,
killing a woman. Like like I'm
yeah,
not watching that. You feel me?
yeah.
Like
like
No, that's understandable.
I used
yeah,
okay. You put people in these Rolodex, right? Those school, we're phone numbers back, address. And these Rolodexes, okay, these are bad people, these are good people. But then you start thinking about these bad people, and you're like, well, they were good at first, and then, they had good qualities about them that you knew, maybe, but you gotta think, maybe they had, so all of a sudden, besides your good book. And so you think everything good about people, even though they are wrong. So, he's like, that's a way of looking at things as well, because you don't know why they reacted that way that
Yeah,
or this or that day. And so all of a sudden you start looking saying, hey, these people had good qualities. They were baby children, whatever.
you going
Had
in and
kids,
out, Jesse.
but somebody's kids, shit like that. So you start like, oh, well, they were good people too. Start thinking about it. Like, say, hey, they're good people. If I see them again, maybe they might get mad. And then maybe a third time, hey, I just want to talk to you.
It's kind of scary because you start living that way because people can change, but some people just don't change. They stay in that bad repertoire of life. They don't change. They stay in that space. And then you got people like me, like Ozo. You feel me? Like that. Then went through a lot of shit in locked up, in and out, just doing bad shit. And then we come to this point, and then it just all kind of changes. And we not into that no more. We not doing those type of things no more. But it's like weird because it's almost like it like we was. I hate to say it, but we was programmed to be that way because everybody around. I know me, I was programmed to be that way because everybody around me was doing it. So it made it seem like it was okay. This is what everybody's into. This is what I'm doing. Another program that you just get slapped into and stuck into.
Oh no, that should just be some shit. But I kind of gotta go though. Actually, it was cool like talking to y'all though.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and sharing yourself with us, bro.
Oh yeah,
That's
no problem, bro.
All right.
Appreciate the content though too. Cool.
Oh, you
So
welcome. You
Drew,
welcome.
word.
I got
well, yeah, true. Something that you said earlier reminded me of.
I got 6 months, man. I haven't done no drugs
Okay.
or nothing.
Oh, that's good.
Do you hear?
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
he
cool.
he can talk. He can talk.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to say.
You know, it's just psychedelics. She was at the.
What
sorry.
Oh, he's
I'm
talking.
sorry. Should
No.
should I talk? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
go
talk.
ahead.
No, it's true. Something you said earlier, I wanted to speak on because it really like rung a alarm bell in my head or a bell in my head when you were talking about near-death experiences and how you don't meet people you don't like in the near-death experience
Yeah.
frequently. That was really interesting because I've been learning about this Christian mystic from the 18th century who was named Emanuel Swedenborg, and he started having all these out-of-body experiences during like the middle, during like 50s or 60s, like during his 50s or 60s. He started having a bunch of out-of-body experiences where he claimed to have visited the heavens and the hells, and he said that the characteristic way that the afterlife works is that after you die, you immediately join a spiritual community which matches your inner mental state. So you will always go to people or gravitate to people in the afterlife, according to him, who is already mirroring the way you are. And so
Yes.
you'll always meet with people who you get along with no matter what, even if they're in hell. People, according to him, go to people who they get along with.
That makes sense though. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, why can't they do that?
Why can't they do that? Do what? Chugga?
Yeah, what you say, Chugga?
I said, why can't they Earth?
You going in and out. Yeah, you going in and out because she far away from it. She was painting.
Oh yeah. Why can't y'all?
Why
Hmm?
can't why?
In the bathroom with the paint.
Yeah, she was painting when she showed when she turned on her camera. But
Why? I
Is
got
that
why?
hey, but how much, Dominic? How much did you, Mercurus? How much of that did you see of that guy right there? You're gonna have to share it in Discord in the what's
you
the name so I can see it.
Are you talking about Swedenborg?
Yeah,
The one that I mentioned? I've
yeah.
been studying and following Emanuel Swedenborg for the last several years of my life because I've been reading up on the occult for many years now, and it's funny because one of the very first books I ever read when I was like 15 was The Occult by Colin Wilson, and even he mentioned Emanuel Swedenborg. So Emanuel Swedenborg is part of the literature for years now, and he's really well known in areas of like not past life, like near-death experiences and psychic experiences and and out-of-body experiences. He's well known in those types of circles, and he's written all these different books, including like The Secrets of Heaven, and he wrote a book called True Christianity, and like his whole thing is that human beings are slowly undergoing the transformation into angels, and he says the whole purpose of the earth is like a seed bed where human beings are like seeds that are planted, and we grow our souls here, and eventually the full transformation of the human soul is into an angel. Like the angel is the purpose or goal of human life, and he says and turn into like demons. According to him, demons can wind up with demonic entities after becoming a demon. And he says that in order to become a demon or an evil spirit, you have to place love of yourself and love of the world above love of your neighbor and love of God. And then he said in order to become an angel, you have to place love of God and love of the neighbor above love of the self and love of the world. So basically it's kind of an interesting view of Christian, I guess you would call it eschatology and teleology. Like the purpose of life is to become an angel, according to him. It's really interesting because this is kind of similar to what Terence McKenna sort of theorized about when it comes to psychedelics. He was suggesting that the machine elves, these higher dimensional beings who love you and look forward to seeing you, and they cheer when they see you, and they have this wonderful they seem to have interest in your well-being in some strange way. He suggested that these are human souls, possibly. And maybe that's what the evolution of the human soul is something that is characterized by love and weirdness. I don't know.
You want to hear something funny, right?
Love and weirdness.
On the psychedelics, right? I felt like this is like the only way I explained it was if a person thinks about his childhood, your mind instantly goes back in time to that time when you was a kid, and you could see your friends and the memories you had when you was a child. And that's the only analogy that I could give of what remote viewing would be. So on the shrooms, I was asked a question about something about this. Like, so anyways, I seen somehow inside of the woman, inside of the human body of a female, water down inside of her, like the place where babies are made, like the place where the egg is formed. And it was like a water, it was like it was this tiny, it was like, it doesn't matter how big the puddle, this water was, it was an abyss, like it was deep, it was like and it was souls. It was all souls coming through there, and it was souls that could be recycled or new, and it doesn't matter because it's like the same energy over and over. So space itself was like a giant cosmic web, the web that the scientists see, the cosmic web. Everything was like a giant spider web, and each spider web, there's a piece of strand. A strand comes down from the cosmic, goes into this water, and pulls out the egg, the soul, which is us when we're born. And as we go through life, we're connected to this string, this piece of web. And while we're here, we're supposed to create this Merkaba of right and wrong, of what we think, what we feel, what's our way of thinking, of how we could identify. And it's like it becomes this ship or something that becomes your thoughts. And when you
Damn.
die, you snap that piece of string releases, it snaps back into the cosmic, back to the beginning. And if you don't have this Merkaba prepared, you lose yourself and your memories, and your thought of this life entirely will be a blip. The same way you can't remember every week of every day you hanged out in the 5th grade. That
Yeah.
stuff is gone. You only remember the things that were important. So when you die, this little speck of nothing just becomes nothing if you don't retain, like, and you snap back. And so once you go back, you could go back as a soul right back to the waters that could be born again, or whatever. You could come back clean and forget everything, or you could come back as a
Yeah.
remembering.
Yeah, or
And this
come
is
back
not psychedelic.
remembering it. Hey, you know what? I want to hear you and Mercurius talk about that that aspect of going back in time, and like Ozo. Remember you was talking about, he was talking about going back and and seeing us go from this amphibian to and all this. And then I remember, Ozo, you was talking about going back and remember you seen the like the cavemen like type people, they was like Sasquatch or something, and the Harry Mary.
Yeah, yeah. So the it was that, like that movie Get Out, right? The when he sunk into the chair. I was
Yeah.
in the middle of the bed, and I
Oh dang,
was
I
on
got you deep.
high dose. Like, you feel me? So this high dose had me. I felt like every time I took a breath, I felt like um my like my first, I felt like my butt paws was sinking into the bed every breath I took. Then my legs were sinking into the bed. Then my feet, everything was sinking. And then I was like standing up, and I was at the bottom of this well, like in the Mario Brother well, like Mario Brothers tunnel. And it was made out of my sheets and blankets and stuff. But I couldn't climb back up through the sheets. I even, this is how psychedelics, like, okay, if psychedelics took my mind away and brought me somewhere else too, how come I'm still able to have the clarity of my own mind to think, yo, am I in the middle of my bed squirming around? Where am I? Like, how can I see this tunnel and try to climb up and I can't? Am I like, I'm trying to step outside of myself to see if I'm even in the middle of the bed squirming around? Like, what is wrong? How can I be somewhere else? And as I look down, there's grass at my ankles and at my feet. And I was like, inside of the tunnel didn't go all the way down to the ground. It was like 2 feet off the ground, the tunnel. So I ducked down, went under it, and I came out and I looked at it. And that's why I say the Mario Brothers, because it was a tunnel that was just floating in the air. And it was made out of my blankets and my sheets leading back into my room. And as I looked around in this place of jungle and all this stuff, I heard stuff in here, and like I could see bugs and things. And I was like, where am I? Because it looked like prehistoric, and there was glowing stuff everywhere. There was weird stuff, like almost like that movie Avatar. And then I go and I go towards the forest, and I don't remember seeing feet. I don't remember seeing seeing anything. I don't remember like seeing myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just felt like I was floating. I don't remember looking at my hands or nothing. I did remember seeing kind of my hands though. Like, I don't remember seeing my feet though, and I was floating over everything. So I didn't feel the grass going through my feet, but I was touching the tops of the grass as I was floating past stuff, and I was grabbing the ferns and I was feeling them, and I was like, where is this? And as I kept going, when I got into the forest, I felt crashing through the forest. And when I held it crashing, I went towards it, and it was like this brontosaurus type being that had 4 or 5 heads on it, and it was moving through the forest, crashing through the forest. And I was looking at its body. I was trying to get close to it, and as I was getting close, trying to follow it, I was looking at its skin, and his scales looked like biomechanical scales, and it was had the veins had glow in the dark
Said I've been in that
stuff.
place too.
glow in the dark stuff was inside the veins. It
That
looked
manipulation has sounds just like.
so when as I was following this thing, yo, I noticed movement. I was gonna touch it, and when I was gonna touch it, I wanted to feel. That's how I got close. I got super close to it because I wanted to see what his skin was, and then I was gonna touch it with my hand. And when I went to touch it, I seen movement out the side of my left side. And when I looked over there, there was a little boy standing there looking at me, and he was like naked, but he was full of hair, and he was standing there. And when I looked at him, I thought immediately, oh shit, I must be in the past. Like I must be, this must be like a caveman. Like this must be a little boy, caveman all full of hair. Like, you know what I mean? And then I'm looking
Yeah.
at him, and all of a sudden, as I'm looking at him, I'm trying to make eye contact with him. Like I'm doing funny things like I do with the kids at the crib. I'm because I could see that he was afraid of the being that I was next to, the brontosaurus. I seen his eyes shifting from that thing to me. And then when I stuck my hand out, when I seen him looking at it, I went to go touch it, and I looked at him, and I seen him kind of shrink back when I went to go touch it, like he was afraid of me touching it. And when he did that, I pulled my hand back, and I looked at him, and I seen movement in the background, and it was his mother coming. And when the mom was coming, the mother, all I seen was her knees was bald, her feet were bald, her hands were bald. It had a regular woman's face, but it had like the body was huge, and it was like her knees were low, like low knees, and her legs moved different, like almost she crunched down like a spider and squished them down and slid them behind this big tree stump and stayed there watching me. And as she watched me, I seen like more of them in the background. There was more, but the crazy part about this female, right after this trip that I had, and I seen these beings. This female was Harry Mary from they have pictures and posts of her. She only has no hair on her breasts, no hair on her feet, no hair on her hands, and no hair on her face, and the rest of her is hair, long hair, all over her body. And I don't know why the psychedelics show stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just experiences like that just don't make sense. They're just deep, and there's no, like I'm not in my house. Like I don't know where I was at. Like I was in a VR. Like I was in the game. More than Ready Player One is in Ready Player. Like it was like that. Like you're there's no distinguishing. You know what I mean? No distinguishing that I didn't know if I'm laying down. I don't know what's going on. I don't. I was even able to think that though. How was I even able in the midst of that be able to be conscious enough to be like, am I squirming around in the bed, like feeling the edges of the bed? Like where am I? How can I be walking around down here? Like it was just amazing to be able to travel outside the body like that and see stuff like that.
Why did you call her Mary? What was the reason that you had for describing this creature as a Mary? Just out of curiosity. That's an interesting
Because
choice.
I looked for at first when I first seen it. I thought like I don't know why I thought like stripes was coming across the body, and because the breasts were naked, the the hands were naked, the kneecaps were naked, and the feet were naked. But as she was coming, I just seen patches of like I was like, what are this lines? Like I thought it was clothes. I don't know what it was. And as she got closer and closer, I noticed it was nakedness. So when I came out of this trip, and I started researching stuff, trying to find images of a female or hair, like with hair all over her body, with that parts of her body naked. I came across those images, and those images led me to Harry Mary.
Yeah, that's wild. Look, I'm showing it on YouTube right now. The Harry Mary.
So I just wanted to look for possible interpretations. Asked ChatGPT, and it says etymology of the name Mary comes from the Latin word Maria, which is and Greek Maria, from the Hebrew name Miriam. It says the exact root is uncertain, but several interpretations exist. It gives 4 interpretations. First is bitter or sea of bitterness, from mar, which means to be bitter. The second meaning is rebellious, from the root mur, to rebel. Then there's wished for child or beloved, from an Egyptian root murai or mrai, which means beloved, as in the beloved of a god. And lastly, later Christian traditions reinterpreted a star of the sea, from the Latin scribal mix-up of Stella Maris, which means drop of the sea, with Stella Maris, star of the sea. It's just
I have nothing to do with those interpretations because the only thing I had was the image, and I went from the image, and I'm just saying the name because the name leads to the image.
Fair enough.
But Max
I
Kelly
haven't-
sings it, Tupac sings it in one of his songs. When I look up Harry Mary, it all of us Valley Tupac.
It's Hail Mary.
but
That's Hail Mary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah,
But
Hail
if
Mary.
you look up Harry Mary, you'll see Harry Mary of Mary Magdalene, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But then it showed like all of a sudden to me it's all related. Like his song, the Hail Mary, the fucking the
the
Mary
crazy
Magdalene,
the crazy part about it is that after that I had trips
and
that
that's the whole going.
showed
And
me the dude, the male version of that, and the male version of that lady was a Sasquatch dude. The dude was brolic, and he had he was huge, and he was all muscle, chest, shoulders, like, and he didn't look like a monkey. He just had hair all over. He just had caveman face, like a caveman face, and the the depictions of when I was looking through the depictions, right, I found that Harry Mary lady, right, and in depictions of her, all the descriptions saying that they try to find her out of the caves. They show monks bringing her stuff, trying to make her put clothes on. She's in the cave. She's in the forest. It's always her somewhere, and they're like, like she's a savage, wild being or some shit, and she was protecting the little kid that I seen, and there was more versions of this female, and then I found versions of that same being with more females just like her in the forest talking to knights on horses, and they were on horseback, and as they're sitting on horseback they're eye to eye with her. That's how tall she is. She was like 9 feet, 10 feet tall, and she's standing there. They're talking to her, and she's face to face with them, and they're on the back of a horse with their all their weapons and stuff, and they're just having a conversation, and there's a bunch of females just like Mary, all of them the same way.
There's a myth or in the Hindu literature about a female ascetic. I don't know what her name was, but she wore a hairsuit, and she was basically trying to engage in worship of God in like an ascetic manner. It does seem to be like a theme of like female ascetics who are hairy. I don't know what that would refer.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
I,
crazy.
I had another question for you, Ozo. You mentioned something about building a Merkaba in order to deal with the fact that when you die, you lose everything and you basically just get sucked into reincarnate. How do you perceive that process of constructing an
Yeah.
after death vehicle?
So in your head right now we have our blueprints, right? Because this is the life we live. Mansion. Make a mansion in your mind, and in every room, every space, wherever you want to put your shoes, hang your keys, your thoughts, all your things, go into certain rooms, like specifically, so they're always there. When you need an idea of something specific, you keep those in certain places in this room, in this house, in the basement, the attic, wherever, rooms, how many rooms you want. You could put as many rooms as you want, and you know what I mean, and you keep track
You're talking about
of
making a
it.
memory palace.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Of your
That's
of your and your right and wrong, like your virtue, your you know what I mean, the righteous, your feelings of things that are strong. Those are stronger. Those feelings are strong. You got to put those in somewhere in the room too. Those are part of you. You can't let those go. You can't just be all mathematical. You can't just be all. You have to have these other rooms with stuff. Like, it's just something about us. We got to be whole. You got to have even animals, even things, even information of that, like all that stuff. You have to have all this. You can't leave nothing. That is important. You think it's important, like the way bees live, the way ants live, the way they do stuff, the way they get kung fu out of bugs.
Yeah. There's a really great writer, Frances. I forget her full name, but it's Frances something. I think it's Frances Yates, and she wrote a book called Giordano Bruno and the Hermetic Tradition, or she also wrote a book called The Art of Memory. But like these two things were related because Giordano Bruno, he developed like a lot of different memory systems, like what you're talking about. And one of them, of course, was the reiteration of the memory palace, where you like build up a structure that you put like your keys. You put all your main memories in. You can do it but he did it as like a spiritual practice, not just like a useful contrivance as a way. It's because what they used to use memory palaces for is like to memorize speeches. They didn't have easy means of writing things out, so they would memorize speeches by building up memory palaces back in Roman times. And that tradition was picked up by later authors, like in the early Middle Ages. They wanted to get away from memory palaces because they said it was too close to magic. because it was
Mm.
employing the imagination, and the imagination was stimulated usually in these early memory systems by the images of gods. So they would take the images of gods and link them to certain specific memories, and that would build up all these different layers of linkage. And so the early like scholastic tradition started to try to phase that out and say we don't want to really do the strong visualization techniques because of how close it is to magic. But then in like the Renaissance, they tried to bring it back, and Giordano Bruno was one of like the main guys who was trying to bring it back. And not only did he bring it back in like the original like memory palace techniques, but he also deliberately wrote extensively on how to use these practices for magical purposes, including in contacting like stellar intelligences. And he was burned at the stake for writing books about how the stars are suns just like our own, and
Oh,
that
that's
circling around those stars are planets, and those planets are inhabited by living beings like us. And he was writing those books in like the 15th,
Dang,
I
yeah.
want to say 1600. So he knew all this shit. Somehow he knew what we only are just finding out now. And he was burned at the stake for stating these things that we know to be true now, that there are other planets, that there are other stars, the stars are suns like ours. And he was stating these things like he knew it, just like from direct knowledge. And I think that he did know it from direct knowledge. I think he used his magical system as a way to actually contact non-human intelligences that live in the stars and find out what's actually up with those places. It's
Hey,
actually like that.
you know what? Link into that what you just said right now, right? I feel from taking so many psychedelics that all of us, I don't know what we call ether or whatever they call it, Akashic records or whatever they call. I feel I don't know if it's DNA, I don't know what it is, but the answers are always within us, no matter what. Like you could come up with the same idea. Me and Booker was just talking about times that we've had trips that the movies come out later that we have from a long time ago, before way before they made the movie. Like we've talked about these things. Like it's like if the AI done took like conspiracy theories or whatever of information wise, we say this and then they do that. But no, it's not. Is that if I have an idea and I don't use it, someone else will have that idea because it's somehow within us or a species or whatever it is. Just like animals know things without no one teaching them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like animals know stuff without people teaching.
And nobody ever came up with during since. So, but somebody else, like fucking years
Your
old,
microphone
that
smash.
fucker might be.
Your microphone going in and out. We can't even hear what you saying.
Damn, my
You couldn't even. That didn't even hear. Hey, but oh, hey y'all, this is a good one right here. Wait, that when you was explaining earlier about floating through the grass and all that, Reebok said that he had that same. He was in that same place too before Ozo, which is dope. But D said he said, "Can you please explain how to ground yourself after the weird, scary realities you see on psychedelics?"
I don't like like if you go you ever you know what a quarry is, book.
Nuh-uh.
You know, so they come when they dig these giant holes and they take the rock, the stone out up here up north, and they leave these giant holes in the ground, and that those quarries fill with water. So the
Okay,
water be like 20 feet deep to 50 feet deep down in this giant crater, and um people be afraid to jump off the edge of the quarry down into it'd be straight down, straight hole down into this deep water. And I've gone there with mad dudes from the hood to different places like that, and there be other people over there. And as soon as I seen other people doing it, I was like, I jumped straight off that with no questions because of I don't have breaks. You feel me? To certain things, I'll just do it. And so I I've witnessed things that other people would say that was a bad trick, but to me it was an interesting trip. I was more interested. Like I like telling the trip reports to Booker and to people that never heard them before, but you know what I mean. I don't like beating the same horse with the same trip stories. I like making new, like taking going to new stuff, having new stories about new stuff that I've seen, that I witnessed. But I've seen myself as like some type of an antelope or something, while a tiger was eating my ribs, and I was looking at him. And when I looked at it, I seen his eyes were so big, and it was like the stars, even the sky. Like I could see everything within his eyeballs, and it was looking at me without malice or nothing. It wasn't trying to intimidate me. It was just eating, and it was looking at me in the eyeballs like it was curious of me looking at it, yo. And it was like giving me. It was like grateful for me feeding it. And then I started the same consciousness part where I'm like,
Dang.
what the hell is this? This is why the animals on the Discovery Channel just sit there like, man, man, and don't fucking run away. Like, what the hell? Like, why? Like, you know what I mean? But I was more interested in the muscle in this mouth and his tone of eyeballs and everything. I was looking at it like this thing is powerful, and I was respecting it for what it was. Like the I wasn't afraid. I didn't show fear. And then another time with the crocodile, I splashed into some water, like in the movie Get Out when he falls into the chair. I fell, and I'm in water, and I'm seeing underwater, and I see the crocodile underwater. And as soon as I see it, the human thing happened. I try to go up to the air, and I try to splash 3 splashes to swim away. I started wanting to take 20 splashes. You know, when you just start swimming all like you windmilling in the water. I took 3 splashes, and then that third splash, I immediately froze and started thinking, like, nah, that's gonna make that thing come over here, and even if it does clamp on me, it's just a transition. It don't matter. And I heard a bell go off, like boom, like on a game show, like I got the answer right, and the crocodile did grab me, but I didn't feel no pain. It spun, and I twisted into another reality and landed somewhere else, like nothing, like a portal.
Dang. So it like did like the death roll that
Did a
I
death
think
roll,
they
but it was a
call it.
portal. It was a portal, right? It was a portal, and it put me to another reality, right? Coming out of these trips, listening to these this stuff that happened to me. Now I got to go research what stuff, so I'm not a moron. I come to find out that there's this thing called gate mouth. If you look it up, gate mouth is a portal. It's a being. It's and in movies they always use a dragon or something that opens his mouth and you go through his mouth and you come out through somewhere else, a portal or a giant snake, or something like the God of War, the snake. If it eats you, you come out, you go to the underworld or somewhere. You go like different things have to do with gate, and I seen that, like, you know what I mean. Especially like I don't know if it's because death is traveling is a transition. I have no idea
Which
what it
is
means.
which is crazy because I always got. Oh, okay, I see it. The gate mouth. I usually get the octopus, and like that's what the octopus kind of do. It grab me, and it like squeezes me, and like the more it squeezes, bro, you can feel it too. It like feel hella crazy, like you getting like you feel like you a lemon, like a lemon wedge or something. And then it squeezed me so tight to where it just like poof, I pop into another reality, and I'm like in that reality just doing whatever, and then I'll pop out of that reality and be back with that octopus creature that would just be doing that to me. And every time it squeezed me so tight, it'll pop me somewhere else. But I feel like these scary trips is like it's they're not scary. We just call them scary. We call them bad, but they really not. They're just a part of the experience because when you come back to life and when you come back into life, you see a lot of bad stuff happening. You see, oh, it was a drive-by and this happened to this dude or this police got shot. Or you see all these different things within reality already playing out and happening. And you don't get scared now. You don't go, okay, I'm not going to go outside because, this happened to this guy. No, you go outside and you still keep doing what you're doing. So I don't know, but like how to actually ground yourself, I think you have to be able to accept the experience.
Hell
I
yeah, man.
agree with that.
Mhm.
And to add on to it, I would say that that indispensable to any person who is engaging in these kinds of experiments is some type of meditative practice. You shouldn't be. You probably. Everybody, I think, needs to know how to meditate. I think meditation is an incredibly beneficial skill, beneficial practice for everyone to do some degree of, and especially for people like us who are experimenting with understanding our minds in these very unusual ways. It's imperative that we have a means of grounding ourselves out reliably, and I think therefore it is important for us to take up some kind of meditative practice. And it can be many different things. It can be deep breathing. It can be more specific practices like chakra meditations. The root chakra is a good focal point if you're trying to ground yourself out. Especially the god associated with the root chakra is Ganesha or Ganapati, the elephant-headed god in the Hindu tradition.
Yeah.
So you can use a mantra of Ganapati as a way to ground yourself out. Or Buddhist meditations are another great form. So Vipassana, where it's like body scanning, or Shamatha, which is like, concentration. Just some kind of meditation. Get yourself back into your center. Focus on your heart, focus on your root chakra, which is down between your anus and your genitals. Try to bring yourself down into that and root yourself into that, because that's supposed to be what generates your body and what allows you to have an embodied existence. And it's important, I think, to have that kind of a practice as well, just in general, because like what Booker was saying, we live in a scary, messed up world. Like, how do you deal with the horror of this world is how you will be able to handle the horrors that you encounter in your own mind. Part of the problem of the average human being is that we close ourselves off to the horror of the outside world and live in like a little internal mental bubble. And meditation's purpose is not to harden the bubble. It's not to make our bubble stronger against all the horrors in the world, but to find a way to live with the horror, to sit at the same table as the horror without freaking out, because the ground of being able to do anything about it is on the basis of our ability to look horrible things in the face and say, I see what this is, and I can, and now that I'm looking at it, maybe I can figure out a way to make it better.
Yeah. Which is crazy, bro, because when you do fall into that acceptance of what you're seeing, that's how you get to that beautiful space that you're looking for. Because the experience, I think that's what we always want. We don't want to have bad experiences, not even in life, but we have them.
Right.
And it's, being able to accept them and just move forward with it, which is, it's easier. It's easier said than done. It's like you said, like, the meditations and these different things are going to help you program yourself to be able to handle these things, to even be able to handle it. Like, which I always like, I just, cause like, I think a lot of us came up in a different world. You feel me? Not the same world. Like, in my world, it was always hard. Always seen crazy shit. Always seen bad stuff. You feel me? And I learned to just, okay, bam, just because it happened, you just got to keep moving forward. You can't just stop because this one thing happened. You can't let this one thing, like, basically take over your reality and and now that thing right there is creating everything that you do around that scariness. You feel me? It happened. It's like, it's hard to say to even move forward from it. But it took me a minute because I had to program myself in order to be able to handle the scariness of psychedelics to the point to where it wasn't scary no more. But I trained myself. I didn't meditate, but I did in a sense, because before the experience, I would sit to myself. Before I take the shrooms, I'll be like, okay, or the DMT, I'll be like, I'm letting go, I'm letting go, I'm letting go. To where once I got into the experience and it began to get frightening, I would like my mind to tell itself, man, why are you scared? You already let go. Let whatever happens happen. Cause a lot of times your mind, man, the mind is a crazy ass thing. And your mind is the most scariest thing. Not other people's mind, yours. Because it creates your fears. It creates your worst moments. And all those moments is the moments that you put in your subconscious mind or whatever, or you try to hide from yourself because you don't want to happen again. And then that's why they become so terrifying when they do happen again.
It's like the feeling of lack of control.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stop this from happening, and it's gonna happen, and now it's happening. Like, you really wanna like put the brakes on it, but like, that's not life. Life, there's no brakes on life.
Man.
Just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going. That's the part that get me, bro, is the fact that, bad stuff happen. This shit don't pause.
Oh man.
It don't
does not
pause and
pause.
give you time to catch up to yourself. No, it's just still going. Like it's like you feel me? Like that's the crazy part because you know we lose loved ones and everything, and then we be feeling some type of way, and life like just keeps going.
Yeah.
It keeps going. It don't stop for no man, nobody. Life is not gonna pause for you in order for you to change your feelings about how you feel about it.
And in a sense, that is actually a very like it's actually kind of liberating. Like in the meditative traditions I study, one of the concepts is self-liberation. It's the idea that thoughts and experiences they're automatically liberating because, like you just said, they pass. You can't hold
Yeah.
on to them no matter how hard you try. And because that you can't hold on to them no matter how hard you try, you're free. You're not caught by them. You think you're caught by them, and the only reason you feel like you're caught, the only reason that you are caught in any way, shape, or form is because you think you are, but you aren't even really caught by them. You're just caught by your own thought about them.
Yeah,
So it's really
about
tricky.
that.
It's your thoughts that catch you. Nothing is actually
Hey, so like you can't even blame nobody or anything else.
no, you
The-
can't. You absolutely can't. It's all you.
And that's the scary part, bro. To me, that's what scares me.
Right,
And-
because you're feeling like you're responsible. I feel like I'm horribly responsible. Like I remember some of my experiences in the past. It was like the way I would describe it was like jumping into a universe-sized pool of ice-cold responsibility. I'm responsible. I'm the one doing this.
I'm responsible how I feel about every situation that happens, even if it's happening outside of me. If I make
Exactly.
it terrible, yeah, I'm gonna have to live in that terribleness. Not the everybody else. I'm gonna have to live in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
And,
I gotta take off, y'all. I'm sorry. I gotta get out of here. You know, I got some
It was
family
really
stuff to
nice
go
getting
do.
a chance to talk to y'all.
No, this was dope, bro. I'm like I'm so glad that you and Ozo were here because this and everybody else that came in. This was a fundamental live. I hope people watch this and actually get something out of it because this was dope, bro. I thank y'all.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Book. You know what I was gonna tell you too about that thing. Like, I had looked up. I said that word to you, that gate mouth, because then I started seeing it. You know how you don't notice red cars until you buy a red car. Now everybody got a red car everywhere, type
Yeah,
of thing. So now this situation with this trip with this crocodile grabbing me and spinning me into another reality like a portal. The gate mouth thing. Then is like that Kakarot, like in that Dragon Ball Z. They go into this fish. This fish swallows them, and they go into another dimension. Then there's the Harry Potter. I think they go into a dragon's mouth, don't they? And then it's in another. There's like another TV show too that they use some other creatures like a dragon too. They go into his mouth, and it's like some other thing in space. Um, the other one was Rick and Morty. They went into this. There was a creature in space. There was a portal when they get ate by that thing. It's like, I guess that gate mouth thing is a death is a transition.
It's a motif. I've seen it too in Zdislav Beksinski's art. There was a picture of a skull eating like people as like they like crawl into its mouth. It's a motif. I've definitely seen it.
yeah. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now, and you see a lot of these old school pictures like Into the Jaws of Doors, the open wide world of 11 mouth shaped portals.
There's also Hell's Maw. Like there's some old art
No,
of like hell
my way of thinking, right? My way of thinking led me towards the way they think of Valhalla, the gate mouth, right? You can't
Yeah.
enter this portal unless you fight tooth and claw. You can't just be a punk to get through them doors, through death. You feel me? Death is given to everyone, but to go to Valhalla, you have to earn them doors.
Yeah, he said. Remember on Thor? She was the homegirl got her arm chopped off. She said, "Am I dying? Am I on my way to Valhalla?" And he said, "Well, your arm is in Valhalla, but because it got chopped off. It got chopped off. Your arm might be there, but you not done yet."
Yeah, don't keep going.
That's
Keep fighting.
hilarious.
That shit was
man.
funny as hell. But yeah, when you look up up gate mouth, like, and you see all these, like, yeah, China, like a lot of these
Mhm.
old pictures, bro. This is crazy.
Yep. I'm
And
gonna
they
send
like
a picture.
portals almost. They
Hold on, let
they
me
supposed to be portals
gotta
or
upload a picture for
doorways.
y'all. I'm gonna do it in general here, real quick. If I can
Oh,
find
there we
it.
go.
Here we go. I'll upload it. Okay. Just wanted to share because that was Zdzislaw Beksinski's art. I shared in general an image. I think it didn't come up. Oh, never mind. Whatever. Okay, it didn't work. I'll
Oh
try
yeah,
to bring it up
it's because you
later.
gotta. Okay, you when you click it, okay, I see it. Oh my God, all them bodies and stuff
Okay.
going in there. Wait,
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
show it on the screen. Let me show y'all what
Yeah.
he's talking about. Oh, this right here.
Gate mouth cat.
Look at all the God, man, that is crazy. Look, it's that look like a spider or something right there, but it's all kind of souls or something.
Yeah. The nightmare artwork of Zdzislaw Beksinski.
Those are the rakes and stuff and things that are supposed to be seen out there squirming around.
I always,
And
you know what? That I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's one thing that I always felt, right? Because like when you think of like the planet itself, like everything dies and it goes back into the earth. The well the vehicle it was in goes back to the planet.
yes.
It goes back to the
Yeah.
planet because I always thought I said, okay, then like where is all the dirt and all these things coming from? It's all like creatures that lived over time
Yes.
because we're always reprocreating, making more of us over and over again, whether it's fish or insects, any kind of animal, trees, everything. And then once we perish, we go back to it, which the planet is growing just from that
Mhm.
itself.
It's really interesting what you say. Okay,
Mhm.
I hate to I don't want to drag it on, but there's such an interesting little tidbit in the Vedic mythology there where a great king who is like a great devotee of God of Vishnu, he eventually does such a great deal of devotion and worship that Vishnu actually shows up and offers to give him anything he wants, jewels, gold, whatever. And he makes a comment about like anything physically you could give me has already been recycled through the assholes of all living creatures infinite number of times. Like, I don't want any of that. I want you, God. I don't want material things because it's already been through the digestive tract of all the creatures in hell.
Yeah, yeah, of everything, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Which is crazy. Like
Yeah.
I think I always think about that too. Is like we don't like to see death, but we like
Right.
to eat death. You feel me? We still eating animals. Those animals
Mm-hmm.
died, but we don't
Yeah,
want to
Tom.
see them being killed and chopped up. You feel me? We just want them all. We want them to come in a steak
I see it
already.
scary and like I can't stand that. I look at that stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna stay with veggie personally.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, but that's the same thing because the plants, we eating the plants. The plants are living entities also.
You're right. No, you're right. Because even if you're eating plants, I'm eating plants right now that are growing out of the ground up bones of chickens. I literally am putting like old like scraps from chicken factories into my garden, and I'm eating squash that's growing from it. So it's like the same thing.
The same thing because it's feeding off of that. And
Yeah.
like the dirt, like we were saying, everything like I was stripping off of looking at sand under the microscope, and then when you see it's all these dead sea creatures. You feel me? In some places,
yeah.
it's pieces of sea creatures,
Yeah.
and I'm
The
going like,
shells.
well, yeah, the shells, and I'm like, what the hell? Like so, okay, it almost seems like the point like we're living off things, but the planet is living off everything that's here.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's like in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna shows his universal form and Arjuna is like looking at it, he's like, "Oh my god, this is horrible. I'm watching myself and all of my enemies and all of my friends going into the 100 mouths of God chewing them up.
Yeah, chewing them up. Like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I like Ganesh, like I seen Ganesh like a few times on my experiences, but I think that was like, bro, that was like the most beautifulest, one of the most fascinating places I ever seen on the psychedelic experience was the place where Ganesh resided. It was like, oh my god, that shit was hella beautiful. Like the way the clouds, yeah, the way the buildings was made like those old Japanese, Chinese buildings, like where it looked like rolled up scrolls or something. But on the edges, the edges of the buildings, they were made like of elephant heads. And like even on the clouds, on the edges of the clouds, it was like elephant heads. It was a totem pole that had different elephant heads on it, but they were all alive though. Like the trunks was moving, the ears was flapping, and I'm like going, what the hell, bro? I'm like, man, I think that's one fascinating thing is the fact that you don't have to read about these things to take psychedelics and go and see them.
They're there.
Yeah, they're there, they're existing, and then when we see them, we go look it up, like Ozo looking up the Big Mouth thing or the Harry Mary. We go look it up, and it's like, what the hell, no, bro, this is not real. It's like this is real, but it's not. Like, what the hell is going on? A lot of these old, like, yeah, but I gotta tap out though, y'all.
Hey man, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Too, man.
Great talk, guys.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt,
man.
no doubt. But yeah, you gotta send me that one that you was talking about, Mercurus, the one guy. No, the one guy that you was saying that was dang, what was it?
In previous conversations, other live streams.
Yeah, no, on this one you was talking about the one guy that was talking about the angels and the demons and like.
Yeah. I'll send all that to you. I'll send it to you tonight. I'll just add you and say.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That stuff to become an angel. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check that out, bro. I gotta
Sounds
check
good.
that out. So all right, yeah. Thanks, bro. And just inbox it to me in Discord.
Sounds good. I'll do it.
I gotta catch up on that. But thank you, Ozo. Thank you. Thank both of y'all, man, for even popping in because this was a dope live, bro. It was real informational.
Thank you.
And you know I'm telling you, bro, that's the beautiful thing about it because like I'll be glad like when we have people here that be talking because like I don't want to be the one making it seem like I know everything because things I talk about, y'all open my mind up to other stuff to go and look at because of certain experiences I had and certain experiences you had. And it's like, I think that's the beautiful thing about the channel is when we come together and then we all like kind of throw in this thing and it's like, go look at this, go look at that, go look at that. And it just opens your mind more, bro. That's why.
I love about this place.
Yeah, that's why I don't, and that's probably why I got out of just, like, cause I can do a live by myself, but it's like, bro, I don't want to be like, I know everything. Cause I feel like half the time I don't know shit. I be feeling like I'm crazy when I come back from these psychedelic experiences. Like I done lost my mind. I be feeling, Cause hey, when I came off the experience last night and I was trying to explain it, bro, I just felt crazy.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. But that's the thing. That's why when we get together and we are able to hash it out and have discussions like this, this is the essence of science. This is what science is about. Science is about finding out what's true, learning, knowledge, gaining access. And we are the microscopes. We are the telescopes. We are the laboratory. And this is what we're studying, and this is how we do our science, and I think it's really important.